Have you ever complained, I don't have any tools to practice my conversational skills? Or in other words, I have a language barrier that I'm not able to overcome. In this video, I'm gonna show you don't have this excuse anymore because there is a free way of practicing your conversational skills. Hi there, I'm Dr. Michael Rutkowski. I'm a polyglot and a linguist, and I make stuff seem easy while actually it takes time and dedication. So obviously, you know by now that I'm talking about ChatGPT, right? Or any other AI tool. But what I noticed is most of the people give you so many creative ways, like a huge list, a plethora of examples. How can you use it? While it's not so obvious where to start. And then when you sit down to actually do it, you struggle because you don't know what is the actionable takeaway from these videos. So in this one, I'm gonna walk you through the process of using ChatGPT to practice your conversational skills, because so many of my clients tell me like they need more practice with a human, which is sometimes very useful because we think about it differently when it's like a social interaction rather than technological one. But at the same time, you have this free tool that you can use and practice every day as much as you want. And in my opinion, it wouldn't be smart not to use it at all. So I always recommend using some sort of AI in their daily practice. And, as I always tell you, it's got to be daily practice if you want to have great results.
Just do it!
So what I like to do during our lingo coaching sessions, this is a service I've developed to empower people to learn languages better. I just tell them, take out your phone, or any device you like to use for learning, and open the website chatgpt.com. I think at this time, when I'm recording this, you can use it for free for about an hour daily, which, if anyone would practice speaking a language an hour daily, in a month or 2 or 3, they would see great results. So why don't you do it with me? I'm gonna do it here on my screen as well, but why don't you do it with me in the same time? So after logging in, this is what the website will look like. I don't think you have to log in, but I encourage you to do so, because then the history of your chats will be saved and you will be able to get back to it and, revise what you've done and so on and so forth. So here's what it looks like. And if you click this button on the right, you will start a voice chat. And I don't know if you ever noticed this, so many people just type into ChatGPT and you can actually use your voice chat, not voice transcription, but actually voice chat to simulate like a real conversation. And AI has gotten incredibly good in it. So let's see how it works. Hi there, I'd like to practice my English with you. Is that okay?
Absolutely, I'd love to help you practice your English. What would you like to talk about today?
And I made a full stop here just to show you everything that you're gonna talk about is gonna be visible here in the chat. So it's gonna be saved. So probably it already opens so many creative avenues in your brain, because you can actually later on ask it, so what were we talking about? Summarize our conversation. Or what were the tricky words? What were the hard words that you used? And I could study them later on. So this is the starting point, and already most of the people don't get past this one. So if you've done it, congratulations, you're one step ahead of everyone. But what if you start talking to ChatGPT and you don't understand what's going on? So many people stop there and feel helpless because oh yeah, I was supposed to practice speaking, but I just don't understand. I don't know, I feel stressed. I don't know if I understood it. And it's unlike with humans, it's so easy to just press the X icon and just close it. So let's simulate this situation. Hi there, I'd like to practice my English with you.
Of course, I'm here for that. We can chat about anything you like, whether it's casual conversation, specific topics, or even some language exercises. Just let me know.
Oh, sorry, my English is not very good. Can you speak slower and Could you explain in other words what you just said to me?
Of course, I can definitely slow down. What I meant was that I'm here to help you practice your English, and we can talk about anything you like. Just let me know what you'd like to do.
So, as you've seen, he basically, or they basically, what is the correct pronoun for ChatGPT? I don't know, let me know in the comments. So they slowed down, they started speaking using simpler words. So, even if your English or any language that you're learning is not great yet, you can still train AI to adjust to the conversation with you, which is also a great tool and something that humans are sometimes incapable of doing. I definitely struggle with using too difficult words sometimes when I'm talking to my clients, which is a bad thing. But I want to show you one more thing, which is far less obvious than it might seem. I was using English to talk to ChatGPT, right? But I can also switch to a different language without announcing it in any way, and ask for clarification. So let's say I'm a native Spanish speaker. I'm not, I'm a native Polish speaker. And I didn't understand, or I want to clarify things using Spanish, which is something I discourage in the sense of if you can stick to one language when you're practicing it, it's gonna be the most the most beneficial way of practicing. But if you're completely stuck and you really want to get the point that they made, you can just use any different language that you actually speak. Okay, so tell me about the weather today in São Vicente in Brazil.
Today in São Vicente, Brazil, the weather is mostly cloudy, with a high of around 77 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of about 68 degrees. There's a small chance of rain, about 16%. Tomorrow should be sunnier and warmer.
Bueno, no te había entendido. ¿Puedes explicármelo en español?
Claro, sin problema. El clima en São Vicente, Brasil, hoy está mayormente nublado, con una temperatura máxima de unos 25 grados Celsius y mínima de unos 20 grados. Hay una pequeña posibilidad de lluvia, alrededor del 16%. Mañana estará más soleado y un poquito más caluroso.
Okay, great. We can get back to English. So, what is a nice thing to do in this kind of weather?
With mostly cloudy weather and a mild temperature, it can be a great time to explore indoor activities, like visiting a museum or a coast.
And this is what I wanted to show you as well. You can actually stop ChatGPT. So, if it starts rambling or gets off topic, you can actually, interrupt it using your voice, and you don't have to wait for it to finish, which is also something that is maybe not so obvious. Okay, so the last thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we learned something from this conversation, and we're gonna type in a prompt that's gonna help us learn. So I'm gonna write, thanks for the chat. Please write down, and you gotta say please, because when AI takes over the world, it's gonna remember it. Thank me later. Please write down the list of the most difficult words we used during this chat, and propose Spanish translations of these words. And now that we've done it, you're gonna see a list of the words that we were using. It's even smart enough to give us some notes of context in here. And after such a practice, you can revise the vocabulary. You can also just scroll back and see what was the conversation about. You can actually see every single utterance that was done. So yeah, it's a great tool, and let me know if you used it, if you had any troubles using it. I'll gladly answer some questions. And before we finish, I just want to give you a quick summarization of the benefits of it. It's such a great tool that we sometimes take it for granted, and it provides numerous benefits. So first of all, it's free. You can use it as much as you want. Well, you can use it for 1 hour daily, but let's say it's enough for you now. Or you can, pay, $20 monthly and have the full access to it. Or create a new account. another trick, but maybe let's not trick AI too often in case it takes over the world, right? The second benefit, it's never going to be impatient with you, which is not the case with native speakers. Sometimes they get a little bit bored with the way we speak and, having to slow down. ChatGPT is never going to, run out of energy to talk to you. And the third thing is you can take it anywhere. What I really like to do is to connect my phone to my headphones and just walk around, maybe stroll by the seashore and talk to AI in the language that I'm practicing at the moment. Most of the people looking at you will not think you're crazy because we're already used to talking on headphones to other people, so they will just assume you're talking to a real human while you're, living your best life and practicing the language. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked it, leave a like and a comment. It always helps. You can also subscribe to this channel and share it with a friend who, always gives you excuses that they don't have enough resources to practice the language. Now it's officially done. You don't have this excuse anymore. Chat, I'm feeling kind of blue. Tell me something nice.
I'm sorry you're feeling that way. Here's something nice. Did you know that every day the world creates enough sunshine to power the entire globe for a year? It's a tiny reminder of how amazing and bright the universe is. And I'm here if you need a little more cheering up.
How does that cheer me up?